So now you see, when we get a propagating machinery like social media in our hand, what use is it going to be put to? It has amplified the worst within us. Though it's just a technology, as you put in your question, but we being the users of that technology, we have put it to the worst use, as is our habit, to put everything at our disposal, at the service of our lowly tendencies. And so social media too has been made a servant to our lowly tendencies. So you rightly put it, there is no accountability. Anybody can say anything, and that gets magnified very soon. In fact, the worst the kind of content, the faster the speed with which it spreads, and that becomes known to all, and we all are hungry for recognition, prestige, attention. So we very quickly take the hint. We very quickly see what is it that sells, what is it that brings instant rewards, and also a lot of money is at stake. If you can become a good YouTuber or a recognized social media personality, that fills up your coffers as well. So now a very easy, a very cheap formula has been revealed. Do the worst kind of nonsense and make a fortune out of it. And this formula has been picked up by the society in general, by politicians, by corporations, by everybody. So that's what is happening. When you had regulated bodies, then they were answerable, and you knew the names and faces of those who were in charge. Now, when it comes to social media, hardly anybody is in charge. Now the mischief maker is faceless, anonymous, because there are just so many of them that you cannot call out or point out one single face. Anonymity does not consist of nobody having a face. These days, anonymity really means billions of faces. When there are billions of mischief makers, how many will you block? How many will you call out? So that's what has happened. And regulation cannot be the answer now, because regulation is now impractical, impossible. You cannot regulate so many people, and you cannot have laws that punish people for their intentions. Of course, if there is explicit content, you can punish it. If somebody is saying something that is factually misleading, you can punish it. But then mischiefs can be of 1,000 kinds, and those kinds are all very subjective. You cannot identify them, right? So regulation has become impossible. What then is the way ahead? The only solution then is individual responsibility. And individual responsibility cannot come by way of legislation or regulation, then the only solution is a cultural environment with spirituality at its center. Only then can people be self-regulated. Or you could have a situation similar to one in China, where the state has a million eyes and hands and is clamping down on everybody and anybody who dares to transgress. But obviously, we do not want that to happen. Firstly, that benefits no one. Secondly, that will very soon prove ineffective. So then you need people with their minds awakened. You need people who can operate from a position of internal discipline. And this is not a mere utopia. I'm not talking idealism. I'm talking of the only practical solution possible now. So what do we do then? Real spirituality has to be promoted. You cannot leave it at the mercy of blind social forces or market forces, or even the whims of democracy. A few things have to be recognized as being fundamentally important and therefore be patronized by the society. I'm talking of Vedanta here. I'm talking of core self-inquiry here. That has to become a part of mainstream education. Education cannot now remain a means to just earn your bread. Education cannot be just about building a career. We are into rough terrain and choppy waters now. Humanity does not have much time left. We need to be awakened very quickly. It's a historical emergency. The problems that you see with social media are but a tiny reflection of the real catastrophe we unfortunately have at hand. So that needs to be done. The real inner center being promoted, self-inquiry being promoted, is the most important need of the hour. And I'm saying that not as an exaggeration, but with very careful deliberation over long years. There is nothing more important today than awakening the individual. It was always important historically, but today it's a do or die thing.